Greetings, and grand rising to each and every one of you, man. This is your brother Chief Flying Eagle. I always tell you guys, and I will continue to tell you, that I was sent for this. I was built for this. And a lot of you may not give me the credit or the acknowledgement, and it's okay. It's totally fine. And I'm going to keep saying that. All right. But like I said, this is your brother. Like I told people before, right? I'm cut from a different cloth with the knowledge and the awareness that I bring. You feel me? And everybody's caught up with this, this African diaspora, the sixth nation or the sixth state that the African Union is putting into motion. But what y'all don't realize, that was already happening since 2003. It was already out since 2003. However, it was a de facto. Now it's de jure, and I'm going to break that down for y'all. Like I keep telling you, nobody's going to do it like me. Nobody, period. All right? And that's not being cocky. That's just telling you that I know what I'm talking about. And nobody's going to give it to you the way I give it to you. All right? So y'all could continue to listen to your big TikTokers, your big YouTubers who's literally taking you down up into a burning building, like I told y'all before. You did. But you don't want to see what I'm showing you. And like I said, I know the reason why. But the same stone that the builder refused will be the head cornerstone. I have my reasons for saying that. And I'll tell you why once I'm done with this video. This is going to be a little bit lengthy, so I'm taking my time to talk. For those of you who are kind of used and have gotten acclimated to all these short videos and looking for microwave information, because that's what everybody else is doing. They're giving you microwave information and they're not giving you the context of the letter of the law. So you are here spewing misinformation. Even your big YouTubers with all their thousands and thousands of views, they are taking you down a burning building. When Trump came out with the birthright citizenship, okay, and he specifically said it was only for the descendants of slaves. Everybody, man, Trump is talking about who we are. Trump is finally saying that this lands belong to us. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. And that's what your big TikTokers and your big YouTubers are letting you think. That's what it means. You guys you're not even playing checkers because you're not in the game at all, much less to be playing chess. But I know when it comes to the game that they are playing, mentally, on paper, and in law, it is also kind of like we say they're playing chess. I know how to play their game because I've studied the system. So now we're going to get into this because, like I said, I'm not going to rush into this. You feel me? I'm going to take my time and give it to y'all. Let us read that. The sixth region, which constitutes the African diaspora. The political, economic, and cultural importance of this diaspora is increasingly recognized. It contributes greatly to the development of Africa, and this is why the African Union has symbolically included the diaspora in its organization. It has symbolically, meaning that it's a symbol of identification, right? So they just acknowledge that. Let's proceed. This sixth region exists in the Constitution of the African Union. So they injected that sixth region into the Constitution. So therefore, you are now in law. You are now in law. In 2003, at the end of the African Union Summit, the heads of state declared 14 what's that, 10, that's 15, that's 18, add the African Union decides to recognize African diaspora as an effective entity contributing to economic and social development of the continent. So basically what they're saying is this: we are going to incorporate you. Anyone who says that they are from Africa or they are black, because once you say you're black, that means you're from Africa, and I'm going to give you the proof. They're saying that we need you. We need your resources. We need your expertise. We need your energy for the development of the continent. Okay? For many years, the sixth region of the AU existed only on what? On paper. because that was the beginning of the paper genocide. That was the beginning of displacing you, making you think you're African. So they had to plant it in your head. Same thing they did with the movie Roots. Same thing they did with the 12 years of slavery. You don't realize that Africa, Asia, and Europe, they still stand against the original people of the Americas. Now, I'm not saying every individual. I'm talking about the political system. Because guess what, people? It's all about business. Get your emotions out of it. And I'm going to reiterate again, I'm the only one that's on here on the internet giving you the information like this. None of them, because they don't know how to. All they could do is take portions of information and give you misinformation, and you take it and run with it. But I'm going to get back to that Trump situation with that birthright citizenship situation. And I'm just showing you, and I'm going to show you how these people, they literally took you into a burning building. Let us proceed. For many years, the sixth region of the AU existed only on paper. Okay, so therefore it was symbolic. Now, uncoordinated, it remained a virtual reality. A virtual reality. So they're talking about a de facto system, not law. Check this out. It was therefore necessary to give substance to this institution. So now they want to give it substance. You feel me? They want to give it substance. They want to make it law. So what did they do? They move it from a de facto diaspora to a de jure diaspora. In other words, you're going now from on paper. On paper, we gave you the idea. We made it symbolic. We gave you roots. We gave you 12 years of slavery. We gave you the cowboy movies to let you know that the Indians are not you. All that's part of the game. That's part of the de facto system. Now that they have captured your mind, because you call yourself descendants of slaves and you call yourself black and some of you African American, guess what they said? We got them. Gotti. Now we are going to do what? De jure diaspora. De jure diaspora. For those of you who are not quite versed in law like I am, let me explain to you what that means. Let me stop sharing the screen. I keep telling people this is not a game. I'm not a content creator. I keep telling y'all I was sent to restore my people, me, but I can't do it alone. Let us proceed. Next one. I'm going to show you exactly the legal and the lawful terms of what all this means. Let us get into this. And this is not being cocky. This is not having an ego, because when the allegorical Jesus or Yeshua came, what did he say? I am the Son of God. As a matter of fact, he even said that he and God the Father are the same. So that's not being cocky. That's identifying who you are and emphasizing on the purpose why you came. You feel me? So don't take it as being cocky or being, no, I'm not saying none of that. I just have to keep reminding you that it is the same story being retold over and over again. You dig? That some are not, some are called, some are chosen, but what they didn't tell you is about the chosen. And some are chosen. And you're looking and listening to one of them. I'm not saying I'm the only one, because there are different levels to this. But the role that I was given, trust me, a lot of you wouldn't even be able to perceive. So I just have to keep giving it to you until the ancestors, the righteous ancestors, they're ready to make it manifest. Like I said, this is not going to be short. So if you like short videos and microwave information, this is not for you. Take your time and listen to the information. Hear the information. Let us read. In legal terms, de jure refers to something that is legally or officially recognized, while de facto refers to something that exists in practice or what? Reality. When we go back to what they said in the African Union, it was a reality, symbolic. It was only on paper. But now they say, oh man, listen, we are going to move from a de facto, that reality that we gave you. Remember, reality, right? Because if you break up the word reality, It is two words, two compound words, right? It is a compound word. And one is re and one is ality. When you put re in front any word, it means to do over. Ality, create a new idea, a new reality. So therefore, what they do, they shape your mind, they confuse you with the educational system, they confuse you with the movies. They gave you all these different roots and cowboy movies depicting the real Indians as these so-called natives of today. So once they have captivated your mind, wherever the mind goes, the body will follow. So my people are slaves from Africa in their mind, not physically, because our ancestors were never slaves from Africa. They captured your mind and enslaved your mind, not your body. However, your body became enslaved because you allowed your mind to be enslaved. You did. So it refers, de facto refers to something that exists as a practice or a reality, but not legally recognized. But guess what is? De jure. Essentially, de jure is by law. So now, they created the system, like the legal system in the United States. And they say, you know what? We got them. Let us make it lawful. So therefore, we are going to make it de jure. While de facto signifies in fact or as a matter of fact. It is not the same as de jure, as in law. All right? Like I keep telling y'all people, don't play with me. I'm not the one. Boom, we just getting started. If you're looking for microwave answers, this is not the space for you, because I'm here to go in right now. This is Article 3 of the Diaspora and Civil Society Engagement. All right? This is the Citizens and Diaspora Organization Directors. You dig? Let us read Article 3 of the Protocol and Amendments of the Constitutive Act. So therefore, it's directing you indirectly into a constitution, because the AU have a constitution. So that document is tying you to the constitution of the AU, African Union, right? So Constitutive Act of the African Union, recognizing the importance role of the African diaspora has to play in the development of the continent, and states that the Union will invite and encourage the full participation of the diaspora as an important part of our continent in the building of the African Union. Like I said before, it is to utilize your energy, the same thing that Europe have done, take people from the islands and bring them into Great Britain and build their economy, and still don't look at them as one of them. Same thing Africa has done. Our people running into Africa. We're going to run back to the motherland. That is not your motherland. Soon enough, you're going to learn. Let me tell you something. Uma is an agent. Okay? Look what's happening in Ghana right now. Look what's happening in Nigeria right now. People are fighting each other. Ghanaians are telling Nigerians to go back home. Nigerians are telling Ghanaians to go back home. So all you people that are actually Americans, indigenous Americans, original indigenous Americans, and you run to Ghana, what you think is going to happen to you? Your turn is coming, because we are in the Jubilee. What happens into a Jubilee? The original people shall return to their land. How long have I been telling you about the Jubilee? Since 2017. Go check my receipts. Let us proceed. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. We are just getting started. Boom. All right, let's rock. We cooking now. Let's rock. Boom. According to my brother, Chief Yasan. All right, welcome to the Cookout. Now check this out. Let us read. Okay? This all has to do with the African diaspora. Is the worldwide collection of communities descended from people of Africa. Okay? People of Africa. Pay attention. And look at the countries they have. Brazil. Of course, they're going to start with Brazil, because when the Europeans and the Africans and the Asians came into our continent in 1492, Gregorian calendar, when they landed in Brazil, they saw literally people who look like us, but they had to trick our people, making them think they're African. It started on paper, de facto, symbolic, until it became de jure. And that's what they're doing right now. Make sure it's law. Y'all think this is not a game? This is a game that's being played, and you don't even know you're in a simulation of a game. You dig? United States. Do you think you're exempt in the United States, my people? Because let me explain something to y'all. The United States is not America. Okay? Haiti, Colombia. I'm calling all the countries in the Americas. Mexico, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Panama, Canada, Venezuela, Cuba, Peru, Ecuador, Trinidad, Argentina, Barbados, Puerto Rico, Guyana, Suriname, Chile, Uruguay, Grenada, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Paraguay. All these countries are actually in the Americas, and what they are doing is they are now putting it in place, another discovery in a sense. Okay, you don't realize history is repeating itself. Another doctrine of discovery that is being subliminally put in place to make sure that the people of the Americas are now Africans. Okay? Y'all don't even realize what's going on. But pay attention to all these countries. All right? Let me show y'all something else. Man, I'm just so thankful to my righteous ancestors, man, because they always give it to me. They always give it to me to give it to the people. All right? Let me show y'all this. I just showed you all the countries that Africa is claiming that their people are at. But let us go into OAS, Organization of American States. In other words, the American Union. Okay? Which is our current empire, which is our current republic. Okay? They are all put together as a collective under OAS, Organization of American States. Well, hold up. We have Haiti, Barbados, Belize, Brazil, all the countries you see that Africa is now claiming that their people are at. What do you think is going to happen? If these people in these countries who don't know, including the United States, who don't know they are not from Africa, and their ancestors did not come from Africa, guess what? By law, now you're African because you're claiming black or descendants of slaves. Because now it's de jure. It's actually law. It's in Constitution. And nation states go by law and treaty. So you could have all the emotions that you want. Well, now Africa is talking about we are part of the union and we are part of the sixth state. We need to send petitions. Man, shut the hell up with y'all nonsense. Because all y'all want to do is go on TikTok and think you know what you're talking about. Your emotions don't mean a damn thing. It don't mean nothing. It's what's in law. Okay? What's in law, what's in treaties, and what's in the Constitution. That's what matters. Your emotions don't mean a damn thing. You come on TikTok and scream all day and all night. It don't mean anything. All you're doing, you're just a content creator looking for likes and views to get paid off of TikTok and YouTube. I don't give a damn about that. TikTok could keep its money. YouTube could keep their money. I want my land and my sovereignty. That's what differentiates me from everybody else. Well, of course, those who share the same sentiments like I do, of course. And when I say I include them as well. Because it's not just I. I know I'm not the only one that share those sentiments. But the I am in me, see the I am in them, so therefore we are I. I am that I am. They are my reflection. So when I speak of I, I'm talking about everybody on the same frequency and vibration as I am. They are also I am. They are my spiritual kin. You feel me? So this is what Africa is claiming. You dig? Same countries that's in OAS, Organization of American States. So basically they're saying that all the people who are so-called black that's in these lands, let us make sure that we claim them. So now the land will be bare once more. Guess whom? For whom? The pale-skinned Europeans and the Africans. History repeating itself. History repeating itself. Let me show you that you got into a contract and you don't even know that you got into a verbal contract because most of you don't know. You feel me? And I dare anyone of your YouTubers or your TikTokers to refute anything that I'm saying here. Any one of them. I don't care who it is. Bring them. Let them refute it. Let us go. Boom. Let me show you what. Okay? A contract, a verbal contract, because a verbal contract is a contract. So check this out. Yes, a contract can be both verbal and implied at the same time, because you got into a verbal contract that was implied by Donald Trump, the president of the corporation. I'm going to repeat that. You got into a verbal contract. You acquiesced to the contract. You accepted the contract. So therefore, it was a verbal implied contract. And there was a silent acquiesce because you did not rebuttal. Okay? You did not refute it. In fact, you accepted it with pride. Yes, he's talking about us. Yes, we are the slaves that he's talking about. Because guess what? If you're a slave, claiming to be a slave in the Americas, it denotes that you came from Africa. So how can you say that you're a descendant of slave but deny being African? You are who your parents are. So even with the FBA, just shows you the nonsensical ideology that they have. There's no such thing as a Black American. Okay? And you have another movement, the Pan-Africanists. They are all part of the game. They are all part of the game, and that is to displace the original people. They look like us, but they are not us. They are sleepers that they put amongst our people, the original people of this land. But a contract can be both verbal and implied. The verbal contract is one where the agreement is spoken. Example, Donald Trump, 14th Amendment, birthright citizen was for the descendants of slaves. And he said it again, rather than written. And then, of course, he wrote it as well, because I think there's also an executive order that states that, because they went to the courts and fight for it. So it's also on paper. So therefore, it went from de facto to de jure. You see how they're making everything legally binding? You just literally made yourself a slave legally. But Chief don't know what he's talking about, though. You know why? Because your big YouTubers and your big TikTokers and your big Facebookers and your big Instagrammers, that's not what they told you. You feel me? Because they're telling you otherwise. They're telling you that means that Trump is saying that you are the original people of the land. Prove it to me. Prove it to me. One time did Trump say that? All right? So therefore, it's an agreement. An implied contract is one where the agreement is inferred from the conduct of the parties involved. Therefore, you could have a situation where parties verbally agree to certain terms and their subsequent actions also demonstrate their understanding and agreement to those terms, creating an implied contract alongside the verbal one. Well, Chief, what are you talking about? Like my brother Chief Yasan would say, welcome to the cookout, because I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Boom. Let's go. Give it to them, Chief. This is not no microwave information. I'm giving you some food that was prepared on the stove with all the seasonings. I'm giving you soul food, baby. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll. Pay attention.
Birthright citizenship was, if you look back when this was passed and made, that was meant for the children of slaves. This was not meant for the whole world to come in and pile into the United States of America, everybody coming in and totally unqualified people with perhaps unqualified children. This wasn't meant for that. This was meant, when it was originally done, for the children of slaves.
Period. And y'all took it and ran, because they have to make you think you are a descendant of a slave. You see the trickery? So now they put everything in place because they're playing chess. They're always 50 moves ahead. They're always 50 years ahead. Why do you think so? Because every 50 years is a jubilee. So every 50 years, they reconstruct their plan because they know it's a jubilee. And because we are in a jubilee right now, that's why all this stuff is happening. Africa, Asia, the United States, they're all doing the same thing. Working against the original people of the Americas. So the next joint I just showed you, Donald Trump. So that was the verbal contract. That was the implied contract. Where you accepted the contract is where you did not rebuttal, okay, the contract. So you became silent. In fact, you accepted it, because so many of you on TikTok, on the internet, when Donald Trump said that, you assumed it was about you, and you assumed that he meant it's for the original people of the Americas. No, because the original people of the Americas were never slaves. We were prisoners of war, but not slaves. The slaves were the Slavs that came from on Ellis Island. That 14th Amendment birthright citizenship was about them. We don't need birthright on our land. Okay? You got birthright into a corporation. So that is called jus soli. But we are jus sanguine, and we have always been protected. So they pulled you into and birthed you into a corporation, and you think it was you. It's actually twofold, and you think it was you. Okay? The slave part belongs to the Slav. Okay? And the birth part belongs to everyone who was pulled into the corporation because of the 14th Amendment. All right? Just wanted to kind of clarify that for you guys. Now, let me explain something to you. Let us go, Chief. Let's go deeper, Chief. Let's go deeper. So let me explain something to y'all. All right? That so-called black people are not the foundation of the Americas. The United States is not America. We have always existed. We have always had our civilizations. There's no such thing as a black American. Okay? And let me show you what's in law. Who the United States acknowledge as the foundation of America. It's not black people. Let us cook. Check this out. So what they did was, everything is on paper because they have to make it de facto until they make it de jure, which means they make it law. So they have to put the idea in your head. They have to announce it because they have to put you on notice. We are living in a contractual system. So therefore, the term Indian, what they did was, I heard Obama say it with my own ears out of his mouth. I heard Obama said it. The term Indian is now, because that's coming from the Census Bureau on race and classification updates, right? What they did was they took out the word Indian and they replaced it, okay, with native. They also took Negro and replaced it with black or African American. Do you know that using Negro in law, it has more rights than black or African American? Do you know that? And I'm not saying we should use Negro, but I'm just letting you know. Negroes have more rights than black people, because those are two different classism or class of people. But people don't know that, though. I mean, they're the same people essentially. You see what I'm saying? But one has more rights in law. Black people have no rights in law. But I'm not saying we should use Negro either, because we ain't Negroes. You feel me? Those were just terms that was coined to our people. But I'm showing you how the transition took place on paper genocide. So we're going to take away American Indian, which is actually codified in law and in the Constitution and in the Northwest Ordinance. So how can you take out that? You can take it out. You cannot take it out. They're making you think. It's all in your mind. But in law, they cannot take away American Indian, because why is that? Because the supreme law of the land is Constitution and treaties. And in all the treaties, it's American Indian, not native. Changing it from American Indian from Indian to native was part of the hijack, paper genocide. My brothers and sisters, man, I keep telling y'all, I'm a whole different level when it comes to this. Okay, so here we go. For all my brothers and sisters in the United States who think you're African American, you think you're black, and you think it only pertains to you. And I know why you're trying to do that, because you think you're going to get a paycheck because of reparations. So you want to exclude everybody else in the Americas and just claim that you are the only Americans, because United States is the America. You feel me? United States is America. But let us go into ethnicity and race and identification. Let me explain to you exactly what's happening, why the EU now own you. And y'all want to get emotional? Who cares? Because they don't care. It's business. Check it out. Okay? As you could see, American Indian. That's why they want to take it out and put native, because natives are not tied to any original land. Natives are subject of a country adopted by a country. They're denizens, and I've showed that before. But guess who an American Indian is? American Indian is a de jure, just sanguine, okay, sovereign people. Because why? They are attached to what? Origins in an original people and an original place. Original people. Pay attention. Original people. Let us look at white. White. Okay, first we have Asian. Asians are tied to what? An original people. Next we have what? We're not going to go to African American yet. We're going to go to Native. Native Hawaiians tied to what? An original people. Then we have white. White. Tied to what or whom? Original peoples. Even if they said North Africa and Europe, even North Africans are white in the system. Even Mexicans come here and they are white. It's a status. Let us go to my brothers and sisters who are ignorantly thinking that they are black. You want to give up the term, well, I'm not African American, I'm black. Really? Okay. Let's see if you're black. A person that have origins in any of the black racial groups of Africa, where did it say original people or original land? You are only the people of a racial group, a black racial group anywhere in Africa. So you are not tied to any land and you are not tied to any original people. So since that's the case, there's a void to be filled. So now the African Union is stepping in and saying, these people are stateless, they don't exist. We gave them the idea through a de facto system, a de facto educational system as well, a de facto situation, the movies, the TV shows. Now, let's make it legally binding. So therefore, we are going to make sure that that constitution stands, and we're going to make it de jure, make it lawful that we now own them. And Donald Trump came on the scene and said that it's descendants of slaves, and you acquiesced to that. You agreed to it. So therefore, it's now lawful. It has two sides. It's a contract. It's a contract. And you said, yes, I am a descendant of a slave, because in your mind, you're looking for reparations. They just tricked you. You just got bamboozled again. But yeah, now you want to listen to all your big TikTokers and all your big YouTubers, huh? I'll tell you what's the real reason why y'all don't give me my flowers. I'll tell you why in a few minutes. Let us rock. Because like I said, this is not no microwave information. Boom. Let us go into another section of this. Okay? Because for all you so-called Black Americans, y'all want to separate yourself from people of the Caribbean, thinking you are the only one that's Black in the system, or African American. You could keep that. I'm not Black, I'm not African American. And I'm proud to say it. Okay? Appendix E. Check it out. Appendix E, which details the race codes for data standardization, was developed by the subcommittee formed by the Institute of Medicine, IOM. I just wanted to show you where the appendix of race was coming from. So the next thing I'm going to show you is the appendix of race. Like I said, this is a little bit lengthy, but we going in. You feel me? We going in because I'm cooking the food that was well seasoned. It is not microwave information. I'm not a content creator, man. I'm here to restore my people. So let us go and show you what's de facto, and it only becomes de jure because you accepted it. All right? So therefore, the appendix on race code list, we're not going to go to white. We're going to go straight to black. Okay? Black. In their system, I don't care what's in your mind. I don't care what's in your emotions. I don't care what's in your lost perception of time and realm and reality. That doesn't matter to me. I'm going looking in legal and law, and legal is not even law. So legally, that's what they are doing to you. But now it's becoming law. It has become lawful because you agreed to it. You agreed to it. Black people, according to the United States, not the Caribbean, not South America, not Central America, okay, according to the United States, not North America, because people think North America is only the United States. You people are crazy. You are absolutely crazy. Black, let me show you what they're saying. Black, African American, African, Afro-American, Nigerian, Negro, Bahamian, people from Bahamas, people from Barbados, Barbadian, right? They are all Black and African American according to the United States. So it does not belong to you, so-called Black people in the United States, okay? Botswana, Ethiopian, Haitians. So you and Haitians are the same people according to the United States. But guess what? You're also the same people according to OAS, Organization of American States. You're also the same people according to the African Union. You decide which master you want to serve. Okay? Or which bloodline you want to tie yourself to. Do you want to tie yourself to your original bloodline, which is in the Americas, or you want to live this fantasy because you're chasing reparations? You tell me, because I have an idea what you're chasing. You're chasing the bag. So you're no different from a Judas trying to differentiate yourself from your brothers and sisters in different parts of the Americas because you think you're getting 30 pieces of silver. So you are the Judases of today, selling out your birthright for money. Because most of you know damn well you're not from Africa. That's why you're trying to disconnect yourself from Africa with your misguided FBA. But you don't realize Tariq Nashad, your leader, is an agent. He's an agent. You feel me? Nigerians are also African-American and Black. Tobago, Trinidad, the West Indies, entire West Indies, the United States said you are Black or African-American. Do you think your individual perception and emotions, do you think it really matter? No, it don't. It don't. You are chasing the bag. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but chase the bag in your proper status because you have more to gain as who you truly are as the American Indians instead of being Black, which denotes you are African, not even part of a landmass or an original people, just a racial group somewhere in Africa. Okay. Like I said, man, this is a game to y'all, but it's not to me. And I'm going to show you who's protected in law, not your emotions. We are talking about in law, not your emotions, in law. Okay? In law. Let us look at it. Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3 of the United States Constitution addresses the opportunity and representatives and direct taxes among the states. It dictates that these should be based on the population, okay? The population of each state determined by the counting free persons, including those bond service for a term of years, and including 3/5 of other persons. Who do you think the 3/5 are? That's you. Okay? Referring to enslaved people. You are the 3/5 in their system. You are not even people. You are humans, which they call monster in law. Go look it up. Okay? While excluding Indians not tax, we have always been exempt from the taxation of the corporation and the plantation. You feel me? But how you end up being taxed is because you gave up being Indian to be Black or African American. You feel me? That's why you are being taxed. You dig? And this clause also as the 3/5 compromise. You have been compromised. I'm showing you law. Let us cook. Welcome to the cookout. Let us rock now. Let me show you who's protected on this land, not just in the United States, because when we go to OAS, they're bringing back, they're talking about the collective, the empire. They're talking about the republic. Y'all think this is a game? Let me show you real quick. Boom. What are we looking here now? We're looking at the 14th Amendment, the same one y'all think it's about you. But here's the distinction. Section 2 of the 14th Amendment addresses the apportionment of the representative in Congress. It states that the representation should be based on the total population, each state, excluding those not taxed, originally referring to whom? American Indians, not natives, but American Indians. Who are the American Indians? We are. But nah, you hear about reparations, so you want to be Black. You sold your birthright. You sold your birthright. Just another Judas. That's why I tell you, all your big YouTubers and TikTokers, Instagrammers and Facebookers, they're sending you into a burning building. You feel me? Let us proceed, man. What are we going to do now, Chief? We are going to the Northwest Ordinance. It says, the utmost good faith shall always be observed towards whom? The Indians, not natives, not black people, not African Americans. Okay? Not black people, not natives, not African Americans, but American Indians. And what does it say? Their lands and their property shall never. It didn't say sometimes it could be taken away. It says never taken away without their consent. And in their property rights, liberty, and they shall never be invaded or disturbed unless in just and lawful wars authorized by Congress, but laws founded on justice. Guess what? When you agree to being black, when you agree to being African American, and you let go of your true identity that ties you to the land by jus sanguine, and you became jus soli only by birthright through the 14th Amendment, and acquiesce to being a descendant of a slave, guess what? You are no longer protected by the Constitution our ancestors put in place for our protection. Y'all think I don't know this? Huh? Well, Chief, let's take them a little further now. I'm going to put the nail in the coffin to show you who's the cornerstone. Who's the cornerstone of this nation, and it's not you. Okay? You can have your emotions as much as you want. Let's go into law. Because your emotions don't mean a damn thing to me. And it sure don't mean a damn thing to Uncle Sam either. All right? Let us rock. Boom. According to my brother, Chief, your son, welcome to the Cookout. Let us go to this window right now. Boom. Okay? Let us rock. Our protections. ADRIP, American Indian Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, that was given to us in 2016. Well, June 15th of 2016. That's about us. Guess where it came from? OAS, Organization of American States. All right, boom. Let us go to the next one. House Resolution 331. House Resolution 331. What does it say here? The Congress also hereby reaffirms constitutionally recognized government-to-government relationships with Indians, with Indian tribes, which has been what? The cornerstone of this nation, Indian policy. We are the cornerstone of the United States, not you black people. The American Indians, that's in law. I'm done. But let me explain to y'all something. This is personal. Okay? The reason why a lot of you don't give me my flowers, all the big names on TikTok and YouTube, is because y'all know I was born in the Caribbean. So y'all think that the Caribbean is not in the Americas. You think we want something from you people you black people, put it that way, in the United States. So you out here bashing us. You out here telling us we Africans. But let me tell you something. You more African than me, because I've never claimed to be a slave. I've never claimed to be a descendant of African. Nowhere you see that on any documents of mine. But it's actually in your documents as FBAs from your leader, Tariq Nasheed, whatever his name is. It says that in 1524, your ancestors came from Africa. Okay? So you see who the real enemy is? But because, oh, well, you don't sound American because you have an accent. The United States is not America. And before I go, let me explain something to y'all. My people were called Americans before you. My people were called West Indians before you. You don't hear me telling you that, because I know we are one people. I was sent to restore my people, not just those in the Caribbean, when the Caribbean is actually in North America. We were the first Marines. We were the first Air Force. We were the first, what you call the ones on the water, the Navy. We were the first everything, because we were the ones protecting the North Gate. You feel me? So that's why a lot of you don't give me my flowers. You did. So you would rather chase those YouTubers and those TikTokers that got you walking into a burning building than give your brother his flowers. But it's okay though. It's okay. Like I told y'all before, I was sent for this. I was sent for a purpose. I was sent for a reason. I knew this was going to be long. And for those of you who made it through, thank you. Thank you. I was sent. I've been saying that since 2015. Everybody think it's ego. It's not ego. When you know, you know. What you want me to tell you? Everything is already in place. Everything is already in place because I know what to do and I know how to do it. All I'm just waiting is for my people to show up. But y'all continue to dwell with your ego because it is ego when you hear the truth, but you deny the truth because of the messenger. You deny the message. Ain't that a blimp? Ain't that a blimp? But let me tell y'all something. It started with us in the West Indies. And it's going to end with us in the West Indies. What you don't realize it was, so was it in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. Because a lot of you in the United States, you want to claim the Olmecs, you want to claim the Mayans, you want to claim the Aztecs, you want to claim all the pyramids in South America when it's convenient for you. But in different situations, you want to denounce everybody else and say that they are not Americans. Because now it's becoming personal. You think you're getting something from the corporation. The corporation is ran by colonizers. You think they're looking out for your best interests? Like I said, I wanted to take my time and make sure that this food was seasoned and is properly cooked. You feel me? Welcome to the Cookout.